I am in Bangkok, in the middle of Chinatown, on my way to meet with the talented Chef Pam of Potong restaurant. Just in case you didn't know, she was named the world's best female chef in 2025. Yes, she made history, becoming the first Asian chef to ever win this title. But I'm not here just to taste her food. I'm having an intimate conversation with her and her husband and business partner, Tor. We're also going to be playing a fun food game to see if their answers match. Would you choose savory or sweet?
One,
Oh shit. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, but I thought you said like we have to
Okay,
sing
1, 2, 3. Savory.
And Pam will be telling me her top tips on tasting Thailand. Before that, I should tell you what an inspiration Chef Pam really is. Her restaurant Potong holds 1 Michelin star. It's number 13 in the world's 50 best restaurants and number 1 in Bangkok. Critics rave about her signature duck, calling it the best duck they've ever had. And having tasted it myself, I completely agree. She's a judge on Top Chef and Iron Chef Thailand. She's championing the next generation of female talent through her scholarship program. She's flying the flag for diverse female chefs around the world. I've already blind tasted her food. Now I find out how it all began. And they tell me their secrets to working side by side. What's it like working together?
Fun, stressful sometimes,
Yeah.
but we never fight.
We don't call it fight.
We call what?
Communication.
Communication. No, we call bouncing ideas.
Pizza or pasta?
1, 2, 3.
Pasta.
Oh, you two are on
His expertise and my expertise are totally different, so we have our own boundaries and our own responsibilities. So he doesn't step into the kitchen, I don't step into his management world. But I think we're better together. If not for him, I won't be here.
Same here.
Yeah.
It takes two.
Noodles or rice?
1, 2, 3. Noodles. Why you close your mouth? What did you say?
I said noodle.
Oh.
Tell me about how your journey started.
When we were young, we used to knew each other since we were kids. My friends tried to
Hook us up.
hook us up.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. I mean, like.
More than 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then we met again. I was working in Singapore. She was there.
Like a gap year. I want to travel. I went to Cambodia and then I stopped by in Singapore and then I met him. So he's kind of like, oh, let's hang out.
It was just a super coincidence.
So he kind of like take care of me, took me around, you know.
Yeah.
And then we got reconnected there. And here we are.
And then after we decided we want to get married, we started the first restaurant. Before Potong, we also opened up a few restaurants.
What's Pam's favourite food?
1, 2, 3. Kway tiao.
Yeah, I said noodle. Yeah.
Noodle means kway tiao.
And Potong came by kind of coincidence. Like her grandfather said that this particular place, which is owned by her family, is going to be
Available for rent. Because it was rented out for 60 years.
60 years, yeah.
Yeah, used to be like everyone else around here selling shoes and bags.
Exactly, and if you imagine back then, there are no restaurant here. I mean, no one would dare to think like you would open a restaurant here because the whole street was about wholesale market. Like it is in Thailand, and it's also a place that is so inconvenient for people to just come and dine here. You can see the street is bustling, it's very different, right? So because her granddad take us for a tour, each of the floor he would explain about the story behind on all this thing, or where this particular picture come from, where is this thing come from. And then right at the top of the building, Pam is like, hey, if we are to build a restaurant here, that would be awesome because the guests can experience the exact same thing that we just experienced. That would be something that no one has done before.
Tell me Pam's favourite restaurant.
In Bangkok,
Oh, so difficult. We don't eat out. 1, 2, 3.
with
Sita. Oh yeah, that I love too.
I chose the noodle shop. That
Which
is
I love as well. I forgot about that.
the restaurant is called Kway Tiao Rung Leung, which is a noodle shop named Rung Leung.
I just said Sita, which is one of the Thai restaurants that me and my family always goes to because it's close to our home as well.
How do you make decisions? Do you always agree?
So what I feel is that when we have to decide on something, whether it's the concept, whether it's the direction of the food, whether it's direction of the brand or anything like that, it's always the best result when we both agree. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we were juggling ideas and everything, if you think it's good, I don't think it's good, then it's not 100%.
My favorite food.
1, 2, 3.
Fried
Gao
chicken. Say fried chicken.
Wrong. I'm
Everybody
wrong.
loves fried chicken.
Oh yeah, you love fried chicken. Okay.
But I also love kebab.
We just opened a new restaurant, a Thai restaurant, very casual but very serious about food, and the food is focusing on the 5 sacred ingredients of Thailand, which are rice,
Yeah.
coconut, fish sauce, chili, and palm sugar. It's called Khao San Sek.
Which is a really weird name because
We came up with it.
Khao San Sek in Thai it means like when a monk in Thai, you know, like he holds the rice up and he put a spell on the rice, like, and then after that it become enchanted.
Like how?
Like is that particular rice then now become enchanted, and then you throw it on the ghost, and the ghost go away. So that is
On bad things.
Yeah.
Very catchy.
It's catchy and it's at the same time it reflects to the concept that Pam is thinking. Flavor of Thai food came from these 5 particular ingredients, right? And then using it wisely, you can create boundless type of flavor. At this point now, we do have like, I would say like 100, about
100
100
staff.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's become very similar to when I was working in consulting. And yeah, it has nothing to do with food,
Nothing.
basically.
I mean, so many chefs cook great food, but to sustain a restaurant and in business wide is very difficult. And he brings that element into our business. That of course it has to be delicious, but it also has to be sustainable in terms of economy.
But you know what I always tell Pam? Like the secret of all the success is like Pam can replace me easily but maybe with a high price, like but she can hire a CEO, right? I mean a new person to come and run the business. But we cannot hire someone like Pam, you know? Like that's the main key difference.
What's your favourite non-Asian restaurant?
Not Asian. 1, 2, 3.
Appier.
Appier.
Yeah. Oh, Appier, yeah. Same.
Italian.
Same. It's Italian.
Can you give us some cooking tips?
Always taste.
Yeah.
Because Thai food is about balancing different flavors like salty, sweet, sour. Don't be afraid to add some chilies and spices. You need that intense flavor.
How do you know to season well?
First of all, I think you have to try the original one first. So first of all, travel to Thailand like you and try to eat as much as possible so you understand the flavors.
What are your favourite Thai ingredients to work with?
In Thai, we call sak, which is like a paste made from garlic, cilantro root, not the leaf, only the root, and peppercorn. So the 3 ingredients pounded together.
Sample.
Sak, yes.
Okay, did I say that right?
Since you're here, this is a fruit that is in season and it's only once a year. Mayongshik.
Mayongshik.
It looks like mango, but this small.
Yeah.
It's very sweet and sour at the same time. It's like peach, but more towards mango. You should try Mayongshik.
Mayongshik. Okay. Well, there you go. Some real take-home tips. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned.